outside. And, of course, a calm day inside U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a short time ago. This crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with the Washington football team. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. They go play action. Cousins. And incomplete to open things up.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
Second and 10. Play fake. Cousins. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver. Although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
And a little bit of space there for Cook that time as he winds up getting about 7 there on first down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
From the 41, Cousins. Catch is made here by Irv Smith Jr. Touchdown, Vikings! Irv Smith Jr., his third touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. 19-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Working from the gun, Wentz. And it's hauled in by Jared Cook. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on the perimeter. You can take the big shots later if he occupies their attention.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Slings this deep from McLaurin. And it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. What a start defensively. Your offense goes out, gets the touchdown, and then you get the interception. Just perfect.
How about the discipline that they showed on defense? Because after the offense scored to go up 7-zip, You would think they might be a little extra aggressive trying to get back at them. Instead, they read their keys well. When they took the shot downfield, they were more than prepared for that one.
Not much there, only a yard.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
On second down now. It's Cook, and very little daylight there. They'll get a couple up to the 44.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
An extra man here in the secondary for Washington on third down. Cousins to throw it. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It'll be a loss of 6 yards on the play. And it'll be fourth down. Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. A 6-2 is their record through the first 8 weeks. Now, Charles, what is your assessment for them in the second half of the season?
Well, I think that the road gets a little bit tougher for them. And when I look at their schedule, I see some of these road games, and I know those are going to be difficult. But this is a good team, so I'm going to go with 11-5. That seems about right, and I think that'd be a nice accomplishment, too.
Meanwhile, Wentz is thrown into the hands of McLaurin. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A big play that time through the air. 31 yards. Wentz now on first down. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And did he get the feet down? No, they'll say he did not. Ron Rivera scowling down on the sideline, and he's thrown out the red challenge flag. And we'll get a moment here as they look this one over.
Yeah, remember now, the call on the field is what they'll stick with unless they have clear video evidence to the contrary. And I give these officials a lot of credit. Such a tough and demanding job. You and I both know that. Yeah, they make the right call way more often than they get it wrong.
And he's going to get this inside the 30.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's second down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete, and he will be out of bounds here on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Now Wentz. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down. A long way to go here on third down for the 8th play of the drive. Wentz going to throw. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin. His 6th touchdown of the season. And Washington now an extra point away from tying this thing up. And it's no good. He misses the extra point, and this remains a 7-6 game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Cousins throw there, taken in by Smith. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Yeah, boy, it is tough to bring him down that time. He surges forward. He's going to get a full 6 out of that. Second down. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Throwing is Cousins. Quick slant here to Smith. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 43.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
And they showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there.
We're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. And the head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
Here's Wentz to throw. He'll dump that off to Gibson, complete. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty. Now a 2nd down and 6. They'll try the left side with Gibson. And he will find his way forward to about the 23-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Taking a shot for Samuel. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. It's a 39-yard punt, 3 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. What a dimension this man brings to this defense. He had his mind set there that he was going to get in and make that tackle. He really flew to the football. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On play action, Cousins. But it's caught on the right side. It's Smith. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
From the 28, it's 2nd and 5. Cousins gives way to Cook. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It's a pickup of 4, but they're still a yard short here with 4th down, forthcoming. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. And this one, a 41-yard attempt. Joseph's got it. And they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6. So they wind up turning the turnover into points as they convert there for 3.
Yeah, that was a nice job there to force the fumble. They recovered, hand things over to their offense, and then the offense went down and got them 3. That alone, that's not enough to win a game, but both units able to do their jobs on these last 2 drives.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. This to McLaurin out on the left side. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wentz winds up and lets it go for Samuel. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Certainly no lack of aggressiveness here. They were hoping for the home run play to get them 6 points. They're hoping for a catch, maybe a call, but they figure they can at least get into field goal range with a completion.
On play action, Wentz. Flushed out right. Got an open man, finds Gibson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. Now Wentz again. Escaping the pressure right. Slings this deep from McLaurin. That's caught at the 25. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Final adjustments being made in the locker rooms. We're just about ready for the second half from Minneapolis. And for the call, let's rejoin Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. It's been a tight game to this point. What do they need to do, Charles, to break through in the second half and take the lead?
Well, I think the first thing they need to do is thank their defense for keeping them in this game. You know, I think the defense is saying back to them, why don't you guys focus on getting some first downs, put some drives together, give us a little bit of a break here. If we can get some rest, we'll play even better for you. And, oh, by the way, pay off a few of those drives with some points, too.
On 2nd and 7, Wentz taking a shot for Samuel. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the third quarter.
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish. But you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing. They're going to be counted on to try and hold that score at least where it is.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Second down, they go right back to Cook. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard. Play action now. Cousins. He'll buy some time right. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the third downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the third quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team and put points on them.
Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense.
Touchdown, Washington. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving. This time, the extra point up and good, and that gives them a 3-point lead. So the extra point good, and the roughing call going to move the ball out to the 50 for the kickoff.
And I think this is a good chance to pin them deep if you can land the kickoff inside the 5-yard line or so. Gain some field position for your defense.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He'll start by handing it off to Dalvin Cook. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
2nd and 9. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve.
they become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here's Cousins. This is Smith with a grab. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Normally on third down and short yardage, you're thinking of throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. On second down, it's Cook again. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5. Throwing, Cousins. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off at the 25. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defense coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed a quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receivers can intercept it.
Well, he's got to figure something out because the current formula is not working.
At the 45-yard line.
Here's a give to Gibson. Oh, look at that. And he'll get it down to the 47 here.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On first down, right back to Gibson. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. We have played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. 2nd and 7. A handoff for Gibson. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. Well, I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
And he's going to take this down to about the 17. 43 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the 4th quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand they're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it. Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson with his 16th touchdown of the year. And Washington able to stretch that lead out even further. Extra point by Sly is up and good, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Kene Nwagu now out of his end zone. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. But that's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. Second and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a third down.
The Vikings on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. To throw is Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Now he's flushed out left. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
It's just me. Hey, we're good, we're good. It's just me and you. Hey, check right.
On 2nd and 10, Cousins. That is caught by Thielen. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington 16.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Cousins. And his pass incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Again, it's Cousins. And this is Cook with a grab. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4.
1st and goal at the 4-yard line.
They'll run with Cook. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. They get one more as the extra point's up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter.
17
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. Gibson again. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll run here with Gibson. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th.
2nd and 5 at the 34-yard line.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now Gibson. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 91 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
First down, Washington.
Washington about to close this one out as they are down to a knee. So it's Washington getting the victory here. And we talked so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Off